order at 6:03. Roll call, Vicki Bevins. Absent so far, but she's joining in a little bit. Nick MacArthur.
Here.
Terry Dorman, absent. Ellen Haugel.
Here.
Johnny Zimma, absent. Derek here. Christy Haverkamp.
I'm here.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, 4.0, approval of agenda. Approval of agenda for March 24th, 2021, special board meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion, Nick.
Motion,
Second
Nick.
by Ellen.
Second by Ellen. Roll call vote. Vicki Bevins. Is she here yet? Absent. Nick MacArthur.
Yes.
Terry Dorman, absent. Ellen Haugel.
Yes.
Johnny Zimmer, absent. Derek is a yes. Christy Haverkamp.
Yes.
Okay, motion is approved. 5.0, new business, approved parking lot design and budget as per presentation. Action. So Jordan, you got a presentation for us that you're doing?
Absolutely, yeah, I do. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Alan, do you have your mic on? All I can hear is an echo right now.
Lisa's is mic'd up.
Okay, much better. Perfect. All right. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Then, is everyone able to see that? Looks like it. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Jordan with ICS, project manager for the construction project. I also have Steve Schilke on the call here also, who's going to be doing some explaining of the design. So he is with Obernell and he has been doing design. I think the goal is to not to speed through this, but to make it as quick as we can, because I understand we got a playoff game tonight. So congrats to the Waubun team for making it there, and good luck tonight. Hopefully we have another game in the next week or so. So this is the Ogama parking lot DD presentation. So we will be presenting the DD set of drawings and the budget, and discuss approval moving forward. So that being said, I will get the slideshow going here. Steve is going to talk about the design itself, and so Steve, if you want to speak up here and talk through it, I will move to the slides as you let me know.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So it's not a lot different than when we had last met. We just are a little further along in design, but the layout remains the same. We've got access off of 59 for the parent pickup drop-off and visitor parking up front. We have reviewed this site layout with MnDOT, and we have made the adjustments that they had requested. I don't know, Jordan, are you able to zoom in at all on this, or
I can't zoom in on this one, but I've got
Okay.
blow-ups for the next one. So
well, I'll just do an overall then. So we got the parent pickup drop off in the lower right hand corner, like I mentioned. We did add the sidewalk in the right of way per MnDOT's request. So we have a sidewalk being carried through. If you go up north to Feather Street, just in the corner there at Feather and Highway 59 is where we've got our parking lot, staff parking lot for now. And then we also have just to the west of that then the bus access lane, and also the access that will get you into that staff parking lot. So southwest corner of the site, we've got the bus pickup drop-off loop. And we do have enough pavement width there such that per our previous conversation, when the buses are lined up, if one of them has to pull out, they've got enough room there to pull out and still make that turn to get around that island. Let's see. And then in between the two loops, separating the parent pickup and the buses is a sidewalk path up to the main entrance. So again, parent pickup vehicles and the bus traffic are completely separated on site. Let's see, I think if I remember right, we've got room for about 10 buses, and that could always be extended if necessary up the drive lane. Let's see. And then we added in the okay. So the parent pickup drop off here, zoomed in, you can kind of see some of the detail then that we're talking about that MnDOT required in the right of way with the sidewalk and the ped ramps. The width of the driveways were narrowed to what MnDOT would allow. We did add in at both as you're coming in, because this is intended to be, and it'll be signed such that you will enter on the north drive, you'll loop around and you'll exit at the south drive. And then we had talked about this previously too, where we created then a taper at the beginning and at the end. So people are forced to have to turn into that drop-off lane, and then on the south end, they're forced to, the curb tapers and forces them to come out of that pickup drop-off lane and back into the main drive to get offsite. And then I will add that on the west side of this parent pickup, that is where we've got a dual purpose drop curb. It's a 20-foot drop curb, 20-foot long drop curb that parallels a sidewalk in the curb. And that acts as a passenger loading zone, which is required per the state ADA requirements. And then it'll also serve as then a 20-foot width to, if you wish to push snow from this lot to the west, you've got that 20-foot opening there in which to pass through. Does anybody have any questions on this blow up here of the parent pickup area? Okay. If anybody has any questions, just feel free to just jump in. So here's a blow up of the bus drop off pickup loop. So coming from the north, the buses will come in. They'll have their designated lane. We're currently showing mountable curb then along the north and the west edge. And we can talk about that a little bit further. Because the elevations that we have, the existing grade is a lot higher. We're having to do some cutting in here. So from this point, the grade climbs to get back to existing grade. So right now, I know the intent was to use that northwest area for snow storage, but really unless we cut that hill down and for a certain distance back, there really won't be much available space because you're basically pushing it to a hillside. We can talk about that at the end here if we want to discuss that a little further. You'll see also in the northwest corner, you'll see a little circle in the radius, and it's in that sidewalk. That is a sanitary manhole, and the line runs to the east. So what we're going to be doing now as we switch over to construction documents from this DD set is we are going to take and shift the west edge of this bus loop to the east. So that manhole is located So our sidewalk will be located east of that manhole. The reason we're doing that is we need to ensure that because we're cutting grade, we need to make sure that we still have cover enough depth at that manhole so that it doesn't freeze. And then what we'll do is we'll have to, where the sanitary line heads east of that manhole and we're in the area that we're cutting, we'll have to provide some insulation over that sanitary line to make up for the loss in cover. Southwest corner is where we've got that whole radius there that you see where the curb is typically shown. Yep, right in there. That is all drop curb. So that is all level with the pavement on both sides, the asphalt and the concrete. So they do have access up to the garage, and they do have access into that that loading area, that recessed loading area. And then as we get up to towards the school again, then we climb back up to full height curb again. I think that kind of covers this area in here. Okay, so shifting up to the staff parking lot. As I mentioned before, coming off 59, you'll turn onto Feather Street and then enter the site. That access drive heading south then takes you to this parking lot as well as the bus loop that we looked at previously. If I remember correctly, we have a little over 50 parking spaces that we're providing right now in this area. And then we do have full height curb and gutter around the perimeter. On the south side, we have a concrete valley gutter. And that will allow, if you prefer to push any snow to the south, if you have some room in there. It also will protect that asphalt edge from basically getting destroyed. And it'll also provide then when you do go forward with the next phase of the parking to the south, that valley gutter will provide an edge in which to butt the new asphalt pavement up to. And then you can see there's a sidewalk then that heads to the south. That's just west of that existing property. Any questions on anything here? Other than that, if anybody wants to look at anything a little deeper, I could share my screen that has a full set of DD drawings. I believe you've seen them, but I can bring them up if anybody wishes to take a look at anything specific.
So
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Steve, you said we wouldn't be able to use that northwest corner for storage of snow, but we still be able to use it for overflow parking, correct?
Yeah, that's a good question. The only way we're going to be able to use that is if we, and this would have to be, could you go back to that, flip back to that for me, Jordan, please?
And Steve, I just want to kind of cut in here real quick. That's something that we need to look at in that northwest corner as we get to our construction documents. So we have some questions with the grade there that we're still working through. But that's one of the things that we are going to be talking about with CDs, because we do realize that is the goal to get to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we have a couple different options that we're looking at. One would be excavating back to provide a level area in order to provide some snow storage. And then we're also looking at the possibility of access to that existing overflow parking that may come off of this the bus access lane. So a few things that we're still working out in CDs.
Okay, thanks, Steve. I'm going to take over for Steve. We'll do some questions at the end here too, if we have any. Then, just to talk timeline wise, I've got our latest schedule shown on the screen here, so you can see in red. We were at the DD presentation today on the 24th. So as far as design goes, we are on track with design. Moving forward, we anticipate moving to the construction documents phase, and the next board meeting would be on the 7th, and that would be the presentation of the CD documents. So from now until then, we would be working on design to get everything finalized and ready so that these documents would be ready for contractors to get a formal bid off of. And I shouldn't say formal bid, as we've discussed, we will be issuing this as a PR to the project. So the intent is to issue this as a change order to our existing contractor. So once we have finished with our CDs, our construction documents, we will be issuing a PR. So I've got that shown on the schedule as on about April 8th, and then we will go through pricing, and then our next board meetings after will be to hold the hearing and have board resolution on the 21st, and then if all goes as anticipated on the 28th, we will have another board meeting, and at that time we'll be able to approve the Gordon change order, and there'll also be an Ace Electric change order. So I'm showing we should be able to wrap everything up and get everything formally completed on the 28th of April. So right now, everything as far as design is tracking that way. I've been working with the contractors on budgeting, or well, sorry, not budgeting, but actually providing estimates. And I'll touch on that in a second here. But everything's been going well. Everybody's been hitting their deadline. So I don't see any issues with hitting these timelines moving forward. After that April 28th date, that would leave us with about 5 weeks of procurement, getting materials, et cetera, and whatnot. And then I have us scheduled to start construction on June 1st with the rest of the Waubun projects and the Ogama site project, and finishing on the same timeline as those. So overall, I think schedule is tracking just fine. I think we're right where we need to be. We all knew that this was going to be a tight deadline coming into it, and so far everybody's done their part. So I'm pretty pleased with the way things that are going. Next thing I want to talk about is the estimate. So as I mentioned before, the benefit to issuing this as a PR is that we have been able to work with the contractors that are already contracted on the project, and they are, for the most part, I would say local contractors. Gordon is just out of Mahnomen, and Ace is just a little south of here. So Ace does a lot of the service work at the school itself. So it's been nice to have local contractors that we trust. So what we did was we did send out these documents, had them provide estimates, and with what we had on the documents. And so we had, I'll start with just our original SD estimate. Our estimate was $1,026,000 for this work. So on the construction side, we had estimated $833,644, which I'm showing here. That number did include electrical in it. So just want to explain the difference there. But so this column shows what our original estimate was for the proposed project. For this DD estimate, what I show is the actual estimates that the contractors provided. So that's a pretty clear and dry number when a contractor provides it. It's a legitimate price that we're not worried about what's going to happen on bid day. What's the bid market like? It's actual real pricing that we're getting here. So the civil estimate came in at $773,603, and then the electrical estimate came in at $57,000. So that when we adjust, we have our same, we figure our general conditions and contingency as a percentage. So when we apply those same percentages, that actually came in just under budget. So we still show our same fee and included in that. And right now, to date, for everything that we have on these drawings, we are coming up with an estimate of $1,018,755. So you can see down here in green, we are about $7,244 under our budget, which is really exactly where we want to be. We don't want to be over budget, but we don't want to be super under budget either. So I'm very pleased with where we're at on budget right now. And again, it's really a good feeling to have estimates come from contractors. That's a price that that they're going to stand behind. So that's just really makes us feel good about where we're at budget wise. So I just want to wrap this up, and in conclusion, as far as design goes, I think we've made some pretty good progress there. I think we're at a point where we've really captured what the district needs at this point. From a budget standpoint, our budget is right where it needs to be, just slightly under budget. So as a formal recommendation, we are going to recommend to the school board to approve the design development documents as presented. That being said, are there any comments or questions?
I got one quick question on that area where the hill, if we're not going to be able to use it to pile snow and then excess parking eventually too. I mean, I think according to Dan, we need that area for snow. So, I guess I would figure that into the estimate, right off the bat instead of it being an extra. What do you think?
So with that area, there's nothing to say that it's going to be an extra yet. That's what I kind of mentioned before, that we're still looking at the grading in that area. So we're still trying to incorporate that in with the budget that we're at. Typically what I would expect is, as we move along, when we move from this design development set to construction documents, the plans are going to have more detail, more clarifications, and everything's going to be a lot more clear. So contractors don't need to make assumptions. So typically I'd expect pricing to go down, if anything. But right now, I think that's something that I'm comfortable proceeding with, knowing that's the goal and still being able to meet budget with that included in the scope of work.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the question. Any other questions out there?
For those of you that logged in remotely, there are big paper copies of this if you want to pick them up in the district office tomorrow, for the next couple of days.
Looks like everybody's good. So Christy, with this being an action item, do we need to motion and vote on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So 5.1, approve parking design and budget as presentation. Do I have a motion?
Motion by Alan to approve the design.
Second, Nick.
Okay. Roll call vote. Vicki Bevins,
Yes.
Nick MacArthur,
Yes.
Terry Dorman is absent, Helen Hogel,
Yes.
John Zimmer is absent, Derek Colbin is a yes, Christy Haverkamp.
Yes.
Motion is approved. All right. And that is it. Anything else that anybody has, questions or concerns before we adjourn? All right, let's go watch some basketball. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second by Alan.
Second by Alan. Okay, we are adjourned 6:27 p.m. Roll call vote. Vicki Bevins,
Yes.
Nick MacArthur,
Yes.
Terry Dorman is absent, Ellen Hogel,
Yes.
John Zimmer is absent, Derek is a yes, Christy Haverkamp.
Yes.
Excellent.
Good job.
Motion
Good
approved.
job.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks Jordan. Thanks Steve. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you very much. Go Thunderbirds.